We want to welcome into the show driver of the number 47 car and Daytona 500 champion, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky, thanks for taking the time. Does it ever get tiring hearing yourself introduced that way?
Not at all. It's one of the things that I feel like is definitely, stuck with you since winning the Daytona 500. Whether it be, getting introduced on stage for pre-race or, a lot of the fans, walking around the racetrack, hey, there's the Daytona 500 winner. So that's been really cool, really special, for me and our race team this year.
You got a story of like the strangest experience since winning the 500 that's happened?
I don't think anything strange has happened. Just a lot of cool things in general. Being able to, promote our sport in the 75th anniversary of NASCAR for a full week. After our season started, going to New York, opening the New York Stock Exchange. That was really cool. Lot of no sleep, but it was well worth it.
Lots of drama this season that we're seeing, a lot of tension, and the fans are letting it be known. Denny Hamlin is involved most recently here. How do you handle when you're on the receiving end of a chorus of boos from the crowd or in a feud with somebody? Do you embrace it? Do you just ignore it? How do you handle this?
You ignore it. I guess you can embrace it as well. Either way, but it doesn't really affect, how we perform in the race car. I don't feel like, but it was odd being at Richmond this past weekend and hearing so many boos for Denny in his home track. So definitely a lot of people had feelings about, kind of how that situation went down, and the fans are definitely letting you know what side they're on for sure.
We're headed up to Michigan this weekend, a speedway that can be tricky for some, and it's been hard to find some success there. So what's different about this speedway that stands out and maybe changes your prep for this?
It's a racetrack that's really fast, really hard to pass. We don't have a lot of off throttle time. We're in the gas a lot and high speed. So, for us, it's a fun racetrack, but it's also kind of a frustrating racetrack at the same time, trying to kind of calculate your passes when you're going to pass. I was just at the shop with my guys, and they were working on our minute rice Camaro, and feel really good about the setup we have in it, and looking forward to going up there and performing well.
Also, we're in a grueling stretch here. How much more tense do things get as the playoff spots start to shrink a little bit more and more? Do you feel that, or is it same mentality all the time?
Well, for us, we feel like we're in a comfortable spot. We feel good about where we're at, in the playoff position wise. And so for us, we're looking at, trying to execute every single weekend. We got four more races, before the playoffs start, and we want to make sure that we go into those playoffs with good momentum. We got some tough racetracks for us compared to, the racetracks that we start the playoffs with. We feel like those are more in our wheelhouse of favorite racetracks and performing well on. We got, Michigan this weekend, then we got two road courses in Daytona before we start our playoffs. And so those are racetracks that, really anything can happen. And so some of those guys that are on that, kind of playoff bubble, in points, are probably a little bit nervous, trying to make sure that they keep their spot in the standing so that they can get in. But really focus on execution. No, not making mistakes, because once the playoffs start, you got three races each round that you got to be perfect.
All right, catch them in the heat of the chase and everyone else up there in Michigan this weekend. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., thanks so much for your time this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.